Morning, everyone. First of all, I would say thank you to the organizer that give me the opportunity to present my work in a recorded form because today I had some connection problem and they support me and give me this opportunity. So I just want to say thank you. And I'm Alfonsi Giulia, a PhD student at the University of Ferrara, and today I present the study that I have done during my master degree concerning the analysis of a lithic assemblage that came from a early Mesolithic site found in central Italy. The knowledge of the early Mesolithic in Italy is characterized by a wide gap between the northern regions and the central southern part of the peninsula. In particular, the numerous sites and studies conducted in the southeastern Alps and northern Apennines have helped researchers to better understand different dynamics such as territorial organization, settlement dynamics, technical systems, and cultural development of the last group of interrogators that inhabit these territories. In particular, technotypological sites carried out in this area have made it possible to identify a shared technical system attributed to the Sovietarian culture with regional adaptation. In contrast, the archaeological record in central and southern Italy remains fragmentary, and the lack of data from this part of the peninsula limits our ability to understand the cultural dynamics and technological development during the early Holocene. What can be said here is that a process of regionalization starts at the end of the late glacial and continue into the early Mesolithic into the early Holocene, resulting in a fragmented cultural landscape characterized by distinct cultural phases, as can be observed here in the map. Within this fragmentary context, the discovery of Tolentino Contrada Pace represents a unique opportunity to investigate human occupation and cultural developments in central Italy during the first part of the Holocene. The site was discovered in 2019 through preventive archaeological research and is located along the left bank of the Chianti River here, and is characterized by an exceptional state of preservation, resulting from alluvial deposit that rapidly seal the site. The area is divided in two main sectors, Contrada Pace 1 and Contrada Pace 2, but only the first sector, Contrada Pace 1, was investigated in an extensive stratigraphic way due to the density and relevance of the archaeological evidence in this area. In fact, here several areas were identified, characterized by both anthropic and natural structures associated with different activity, such as flint knapping and microlith production. Among the most important structures are two accumulation of gastropod shells, the largest of which is the focus of the present study. Here, stratigraphic Unit 10 is characterized by a rich archaeological deposit composed of lithic artifact, faunal remains, and numerous shells of Helix pomatella, resulting from an anthropogenic collection in the surrounding area used for consumption. We also have a radiocarbon dating from this stratigraphic unit that fits into the preboreal zone. The present study discussed the first results of the techno-economic and typological analysis conducted on this lithic assemblage, with the aim of understand the technocultural strategy adopted by the group that inhabited this area during the preboreal zone, as well as try to clarify the process that led to the formation of this stratigraphic unit through the study of the lithic assemblage. This assemblage is composed of consists of 5,053 total artifacts, of which only 727 were considered diagnostic for techno-economic, for lithological, technological, and typological analysis. And I will focus more on the lithological analysis due to this section. And the lithological analysis was carried out using microscopic observation with the aim of identify the geological formation of provenance. As can be observed here from the graph, the most represented raw material is the Scaglia Rossa. Then we have Maiolica and some items made on Scaglia Cinerea, Scaglia Bianca, and Corniola. But all this raw material derived from the local geological formation present in the Chianti River basin, and in particular from the Cretaceous-Miocene section of the Umbria Marche complex. Moreover, the analysis of the cortical surfaces indicate that the provisioning mainly took place from secondary deposit and consists of small subranded pebbles found in the surrounding alluvial terraces. There was also possible to identify a sort of preference of people with calcareous cortical surfaces originating from slope deposit and alluvial terraces, showing evident signs of chemical alteration and pedogenesis. We also try to identify some possible primary procurement area along the main course of the Chianti River here. And we find that two outcrops are present in the Chianti Basin. One 15 kilometers away from the site along the Cingoli Ridge, and the other 40 kilometers away from the site along the Colfiorito Plateau. The technological analysis focus mainly on the two most representative raw materials, Cascaia Rossa and Maiolica, and as can be observed here in this graph, all stages of the reduction sequence are represented in both in Scaglia Rossa and Maiolica with a similar percentage. It was also possible to identify several refitting across all stages of the reduction sequences, and this confirmed that all this operation took place on the site. The initialization phase is not well documented, making it difficult to reconstruct the original size of the core. But what can be said is that these few blanks are small, suggesting the use of small site cobble with a naturally exploitable morphology. And the most represented blanks are flakes and bladelets derived from both production and production management phase. This reveals a dual debitage objective aimed at producing both of them, which were used for the manufacture of microlith and tools. As can be observed from the graph, there is a difference between blanks made on Scaglia Rossa and those made on Maiolica. The former are generally thinner and more elongated, while the those produced on Maiolica tend to be thicker, particularly the flakes. The debitage is characterized by a volumetric frontal and semi-turnant volumetric exploitation with short and mainly unidirectional removal sequences and frequent orthogonal reorientation of the core. And here are some examples of the refittings that I made. The transformation phase is mainly represented by manufacturing waste, followed by microlith and tools. The assemblage is characterized both in microlith and tools categories by a significant degree of fragmentation. And the microlith assemblage is mainly composed of geometric microlith, as can be seen there, in particular isosceles triangles. And while the tools assemblage is characterized by truncation and denticulate, especially nodes. So, in conclusion, the study of the lithic assemblage has made it possible to reconstruct the technical system and the economic strategy adopted by this group of hunter-gatherers that he named this particular area during the pre-boreal zone, confirming the frequentation along this period. The features that emerge from the study are comparable to other contemporary sites belonging to the Sovietarian culture and found in particular in the southeastern Alps and northern Apennines, but also with few sites found in central and southern Italy, such as, for example, the Fucino sites in Abruzzo or the caves in some caves in Puglia, Grotta del Mura and Grotta Marisa. So the raw material is local and collecting from the surrounding alluvional terraces and exploited with no preparation of the core. The debitage is characterized by short, predominantly unidirectional sequences with frequent reorientation. The production is aimed at obtaining bladelets and flakes, which were used in the manufacture of microlith tools. So, the stratigraphic V910 appears to be the result of multiple occupation phases. Also, the specific function of this area is not entirely clear yet. The absence of trampling traces suggests that the area may initially have been used for the consumption of the helix, later undergoing a functional shift, perhaps as a dump zone for napping waste. But the numerous refitting confirm that napping activity took place on site, even if it's difficult to define if in this specific area or in a nearby area. We are waiting for the spatial analysis, the result of the spatial analysis about this specific stratigraphic unit. So thank you for your attention. Thank you for this opportunity.